Hello everyone, happy Tuesday. How are we? Alright, I wanted to pop on live and everything and walk you guys through converting a gluten recipe. So taking a gluten recipe I have right now and converting it to a yeasted gluten-free recipe. Okay? I have a lot of questions right now with people wanting to know how to take a regular old recipe, meaning like a yeast bread, French bread, any of the major bread categories, and how do I do it, okay? So I wanted to pop on, hope you guys can see me. If you have any questions, please put them at the end of the video, okay? Alright, so I am using today, as we all know, I love Better Batter gluten-free flour. It's one of the amazing flours, okay? It works amazingly for yeast bread products. I'm also testing another recipe in the background right now. Alright, so I got asked by Naomi Poe, one of her readers, to convert a recipe. Okay, so I thought I would pop on for a little while, show you how I do it. This is my first day I'm testing this recipe. So if it's a flop, it's a flop. But if it's amazing, it's amazing. I just want to walk you through some tips, tricks, kind of techniques that I do when converting wheat from taking a regular yeasted bread recipe, okay? So this is a regular King Arthur flour yeasted bread recipe with gluten, okay? It's made with bread flour, okay? We all know that gluten-free bread is very tricky to make, but with techniques, tricks, and for me, I will show you how to do it, okay? So when I strongly recommend when starting baking gluten-free, a kitchen scale. A kitchen scale you can find on Amazon, anywhere they sell them these days, okay? I got mine on Amazon and paid about $50, but there's all kinds of cheap ones that work just as well, okay? Highly recommend, okay? Also, I've been baking so my bowl is a little dirty. I use a KitchenAid mixer when I'm baking bread and yeast breads, okay? So this is a paddle attachment. This, not the dough hook. You do not want to use the dough hook. Hold on. I'm going to show you. With gluten-free bread, I see a lot of people with this. This is a no-no, okay? This will not mix your bread for gluten-free the right way, okay? If you're doing this, don't do it. Give it to a Goodwill or something. You'll never get it, trust me. So with gluten-free, you want the paddle attachment, okay? I also strongly recommend, do not use for gluten-free bread. You will burn out mixers, hand mixers and everything. Do not use that for gluten-free bread baking, okay? I know a lot of people that say, oh, I just made this bread recipe and I have an awesome handheld mixer. And it didn't work. What happened? My mixer broke. Gluten-free doughs, unless you're making chocolate chip cookies, anything basic for a basic recipe, you can use a hand blender. But for yeast doughs, like cinnamon rolls, anything like that, I strongly recommend getting a KitchenAid mixer. I love my KitchenAid mixer. Have 3 of them. Also, want to show you guys. Okay, this is a wet measuring cup. Okay, this is a dry measuring cup. Don't mix them up when you're measuring your flours. Okay, this is liquid. So any eggs, oil, butter. So if you're melting butter, coconut oil. Anything that is liquid, okay, you want to use this. Anything dry, like flours, brown sugar, anything like that, this is what you want to use, okay? But I recommend a kitchen scale, and it works amazingly. These are called measuring spoons for anyone that knows. Also, when baking bread and gluten-free bread, this will save you tons and tons of money in the kitchen. I strongly recommend you guys buying a digital thermometer, okay? I bought this at Walmart. You can buy them at any kitchen hardware stores. They work amazingly for telling your temperature when your bread is cooked in the middle, okay? With gluten-free bread and any bread product, you want the temperature to be about 205. You can get 210, that's okay. That means you have the structure has set. And when it comes out of the oven, it's not going to go boom and fall, okay? That's just key. A good kitchen thermometer is key, You can find it anywhere, okay? Also, so I use all kinds of yeast. So I use Red Star's yeast, I use this yeast. This is 100% gluten-free. I also use, so there's one yeast on the market that is called Superior Platinum Baking Yeast. That has a gluten product in it. So do not buy it. It's in a silver package. Do not buy it, okay? That has gluten in it, okay? Alright, so I want to now what I'm going to show you. Alright, so we are converting this recipe. So this recipe also has a starter in it. I'm not going to do the starter. It's probably going to come out the same way. It might not. But this is called testing. This is what I do normally on my days off. Kind of want to show you what I do. Alright, so when I make bread, gluten-free breads and everything, a lot of people ask me, why do you use club soda? Why do you use this? Why do you use this? Regular tap water for gluten-free bread works. But if you want amazing substructure, you want nice and fluffy and airy products, okay? Key is, first of all, having a high-end gluten-free flour, okay? Bob's Red Mill don't recommend a lot for yeast bread product. It does not work as well in high quality. The two flours that I use is Better Batter and GF Jules. Those are high quality gluten-free flours for bread baking and any kind of baking you want to do across the world, basically. So, with club soda helps with gluten-free. But you do not have to warm it up. You don't want it warm, you don't want it anything. You just want to open a fresh bottle. I already used this today to bake some stuff, so I know this is fresh. About a week and a half, as long as it's closed, you should be all set. But I buy this by the case because I bake a lot at home. This works amazingly in bread, okay? So, well, I'm going to show you right now what I'm going to do. So when I bake bread, okay, what I do is I actually do it reverse engineering, okay? What I do, so this recipe calls for 3 and a half, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half, 4, about 5 cups of flour, okay? About 5 cups, okay? So what I am going to do is I'm going to put my scale on 2 ounces, zero it out. Always want to start with a bowl. So take your bowl, so your regular bowl that you're going to weigh your flour in, okay? Put it on your scale. Then what you're going to do is you're going to hit 0, okay? You want to zero this out, okay? Zeroing it out is going to help you when you're baking. Trust me. If you didn't zero that out, you're going to have wrong measurements, and then you're going to be going, Patrick, why didn't this come out? Why didn't this come out? Did you zero your scale? Key, okay, for the best products. Also, what you're going to do is, what you're going to do, I just have to find something else, hold on. Alright, so what I'm going to do, so when I measure my flour, I always do this if I'm scaling or weighing, okay? I take my flour, and I have clean hands, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. This is called kind of sifting your flour, moving your flour around, kind of not from an air packed. Because if you haven't been baking for a while, it's probably going to be compact in your container and not be as fluffy. So you kind of just want to move it around a little bit, okay? Then what you're going to do, pick up your flour. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to take your scoop, gently, okay? Do that at one time. So then what I do is I pick this up and I do this. So what I do, so when converting a recipe, so I'm going to take, so for bread, for Better Batter, what I use is 5 ounces for every cup of Better Batter, okay? So I need 5, so I need 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I need 25 ounces of flour. 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And just lightly, not air pack your flour, okay? So basically, so roughly 1.5 pounds of flour, I'll use for this recipe. Then, what I call magic in a lot of my recipes, what I use is expanding tapioca starch. Or, if you don't have a corn allergy, you can also use, I just use regular cornstarch. You can use cornstarch, tapioca starch. You want to add more starch to it, okay? This is going to help with the risen. So what I'm going to do is, for this recipe, I'm going to do about, and the same thing, lightening, then spooning on. You don't want to compact your flours. Compacting your flours and starches is going to throw you off your measurements, okay? And you're going to do that, so that's about a cup. And then I'm going to do a half a cup. Just like that, okay? Then, what I'm going to do, put that over there. Just wash my hands a minute. Then what I'm going to do is I also add an extra leavener besides the yeast with gluten-free breads. What I do is I add extra leavener by adding in baking powder and baking soda, okay? That adds an extra lift in all your bread products, okay? So with this recipe, I'm probably going to do 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, regular baking soda that you'll use, okay? Then what I'm going to do, this recipe also calls for salt. 2 teaspoons of salt. So what I'm going to do is I use regular salt, okay? Regular salt you can find at the grocery store, okay? Easy as pie, okay? I'd also kosher salt, anything you prefer. So you're going to do 2 teaspoons of that, okay? Then, I've been actually making for bread and colorful because with gluten-free flours, you don't have the protein and everything with the flours, so you need a little bit of sugar. So what I like to do is I add a half a cup of regular brown sugar. If you can't do sugar, you can also use coconut sugar, you can use honey, you can use agave. You just want something sweet to wake up your yeast a little bit. Then I'm going to do regular baking powder. I use double active baking powder. So 1 tablespoon of double active baking powder. Okay? If you have any questions, please leave them at the bottom of the video, and I'm happy to answer them. Then I also use apple cider vinegar when I'm baking, okay? I'm going to show you how I do that too. Then what I do, so this recipe calls for yeast, regular yeast. So I'm going to use about, so it calls for 1.5 teaspoons of yeast. When gluten-free baking, I always double or triple my yeast, okay? For bread, I usually use, if it calls for 2 packets of yeast, I always goes up to about 1 more packet of yeast. And this is regular yeast that's gluten-free. So what I do, and normally I don't ever do this, is I don't proof my yeast. I've been baking for almost 15.5 years. You do what you do, I'm doing what I do. This is what I do. I just pour it right in my bowl. This is all my dry ingredients. My yeast goes right in, okay? 2 packets of regular yeast. Just washing my hands quickly. And then, what I do, so this is basically all my dry ingredients in my bowl, okay? Salt, sugar, everything. You just don't want your yeast touching your salt or it will kill it, okay? Then, what you're basically going to do is take your mixer. So I have a KitchenAid mixer. I'm going to move this over here, okay? I just put my paddle attachment on. Then what I do is I take this and I mix it around. I want my yeast and everything is integrated into the mix as I can, okay? La 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 la. Alright, so that's pretty much good, quickly. Then what you're going to do, so this recipe, so this is when some people get tricky. Adding too much liquid to your flour mixture, okay? So what this recipe calls for is 1 cup plus 1 tablespoon plus a half a cup, okay? So with gluten-free, I always go up another cup, okay, of liquid. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do roughly an eye level. When you measure liquid and anything like that, you wanna go eye level so it's even. Pour this. All right, so I'm gonna go with 2.5 cups of club soda. Regular club soda, okay? Then, when you go like this, and then what I'm gonna do is 2 tablespoons of regular apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar works amazingly with gluten-free baking, okay? 1 tablespoon, regular apple cider vinegar. Hello, Christine. All right, I'm also working on a recipe for homemade gluten-free pretzel buns for the Better Better website, made with Better Better gluten-free flour. They're almost ready to go into the oven right now. They're proofing up a little bit more. All right. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, kind of move this around. Sorry, just trying to clean up a little bit. Then what I'm gonna do is also add a tablespoon of regular olive oil. Olive oil or vegetable oil, okay? 1 tablespoon. That's not in a regular recipe, but you can. Okay, and this is all my liquid in my measuring cup, just like you're baking, okay? My dog, she's gonna start to whine. All right, so I do not add all my liquid in. I start with half and then add, okay? Because you can always add, but you can never take away, okay? Especially with gluten dough. So I'm gonna go add a little bit more. Yep, I can see it's gonna need all of it. Sorry, my dog's barking. Then I'm gonna mix. All right, so I can see and tell as of right now that I am gonna need more liquid into my dough, okay? So I'm gonna start with a half a cup of more water. You can always add later, okay? Just gonna keep adding, and I'm gonna show you what the dough looks like after I take it off the mixer, okay? Just mix it up, let it speed. So this is gonna beat for a couple minutes on high speed, about 1.5 minutes, okay? If you do have questions, please put them at the bottom. I'm happy to answer them later. So I'm just gonna let that basically do it. And look at this. I'm gonna move you. Let's hope you can see this. I know you're upside down, but see that? The dough's starting to pull away from the sides, okay? I know you're probably upside down, but this is probably the easiest way to show it. Okay? It's gonna beat like this. Alright. You need to be able to roll this out. So look at this. This is basically like Play-Doh, the texture of Play-Doh. Like, almost like drop biscuit texture, okay? You basically want that. It's almost ready. So what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna add my last 1/4 cup of water, okay? Because that's what I'm feeling today it's gonna need. Climate, just like regular baking, is gonna do the same thing. Alright, while that's mixing, sorry that you guys were upside down. Alright, so, I'm going to move you over here, so I want to show you this too. So my oven's just about preheated, okay? So I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees to bake these pretzel rolls, okay? So what I'm going to do is they're just about ready to go in, okay? So what I do, so to create steam in your oven, okay? I've been doing this for 15 years or more, okay? So if you don't feel comfortable putting boiling hot water or ice cubes in your oven, a lot of people don't at home, you can take a regular pan like this, while you're heating up your thing, put it on the floor of your oven, okay? Any kind of pan. You want it to be metal, okay? Do not do it with glass. Trust me, you will have glass shattered everywhere. You want to do it with something metal, like a cookie sheet, a baking pan, a cake pan, something like that. But you want to do it with metal, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to take this can stay like that, it's fine. So you're going to put this, my oven is on these 2 racks, and what I'm going to do, put both of these in. And this is basically just warm water, and this is called steam. You guys don't all have the high-end injection steam ovens like a real bakery, but this is how you get real good steam and injection in your oven at home. Just going to take this, put that, and then shut your oven door, okay? Alright. Yes, it's always gluten-free bread. It's converting a wheat recipe to gluten-free. Alright, so basically you're going to take this, so it's going to look like drop cookie dough. The texture of drop cookie dough, as we call it in gluten-free. Okay, my dog's going to whine. This is how she is. I'm sorry. Alright, so what I'm going to do, so this is basically like I'm making a cinnamon roll dough. So also with gluten-free, what I do, I'm just going to clean up for a minute. Hold on, sorry. Alright, and I'm going to move you guys back this way. Alright. Alright. Then if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask along the way. I'm happy to answer. Alright. If you have a dairy allergy, let's talk about dairy, okay? Because if you have dairy, you might want to make this still, but you can, okay? Look at these. Alright, so for the pretzel buns, as a professional baker and all bakers around the world, after doing a lot of research and everything, is I use a high-grade food lye solution, okay? If you look up German pretzels, bakery pretzels, if you look it up and watch a lot of YouTube videos, they say they dip them in a lye solution. And a lye solution is basically a food-grade lye that you're using, okay? And it's 100% food safe. I bought it from a food safe provider that I buy it from. And I'm actually testing it out today. A lot of my baker friends have used it. Jenny Fields is one of them. She dipped pretzels. There's a recipes online for doing this. It's amazing. Yes, gluten-free using yeast. It's yeasted bread, okay? So basically what you're going to do, so dairy allergy I was talking about, okay? So dairy, if you can't have dairy, you can still make this recipe, okay? If you have your favorite vegan cheese that you like, so like Adea has amazing cheese, any of those, so any Parmesan cheese, they have an amazing dairy-free cheddar cheese, you can use this, okay? You can still make this recipe, okay? So this dough, I'm going to show you what it looks like. Look at that. It looks like drop biscuit dough without the chocolate chip, or should I say chocolate chip cookie dough without the chocolate chips, okay? This is basically how my cinnamon roll dough looked like and everything like that. So I kind of want to show you guys how I roll this out. Roll it out, cut it. Those are going to bake for a couple minutes. please, if you have more questions, please answer them. I'm here. Yes, I'm using yeast. This video, well, after I post this video, sorry, I'm dropping things. After I post this video, you can go back and watch the whole thing as it goes. Okay? That's how Facebook Live works. Okay? Sorry, this is me in my kitchen. This is how I roll. This is live. This is how I do my baking, if anyone knows me. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is you're going to take this, you're going to lightly sprinkle it around with your flour. Okay? And then, because I kind of want to show you this, so I'm hoping. I gotta get used to this phone thing. Aha! Much better. Alright, so I'm rolling on an Dough Easy mat, okay? It's called, I will put a link and it's all over my site, okay? Or all over my Facebook that I love to use Dough Easy rolling mat. Alright, so I have better flour, a gluten-free flour. I do not, sorry. Hold on one second, I have to let my dog outside. She's gonna keep whining. Be right back, I promise you guys. Alright, this is my home life. This is what I do basically on my days off, okay? This is me. I test recipes, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this dough, I'm going to put it all on my dough mat, okay? Scrape it all out. So a lot of people are going to ask about this, and I know they're going to ask, is why did you not rise the dough before you roll the dough? Okay? With gluten-free baking and with any kind of yeast bread is, well, I'm doing two things at once. You do not have to rise it again, okay? It's a one rise step. Some people rise it again. You don't have to, okay? So you want the dough sticky and tacky still, okay? That's the key of making good bread, okay? Then you want it to be basically a little bit more flour. Little bit. I'm not dumping flour, okay? Can you guys see that I can actually pick this dough up and move it around the counter? Kind of like traditional wheat dough. That is actually what's happening, and this is kind of key, is when you want it sticky and tacky still, because that's going to interior the bread to be, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Failing rolling pin. This is my favorite rolling pin, okay? I love my French rolling pin, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it like this, and I'm going to roll this, okay? This has no dairy in it right now. This is 100% vegan, okay? Look at this. I can pick this up without it tearing or anything like that, okay? So we're gonna roll this out or pat it out. A lot of doughs that I make, I can pat it out or roll it out, okay? And if it starts to stick, I know that I can just do that, okay? So now what I'm going to do, so I also have a sheet pan. Alright, so I have a sheet pan, a regular sheet pan with parchment paper ready, okay? I love parchment paper when I'm baking. I also love my regular things. I have to get one more thing, hold on. So I'm just going to use this extra virgin olive oil that we buy that is made with all kinds of Italian seasonings and everything. I love this. I buy this from a local person. I know it's allergy friendly that I use it. And it's basically going to help with the flavor. It's just like cinnamon rolls, you put down like your butter spread and your cinnamon and glaze and all that. You kind of want the same thing for these. You want to have that little bit of oil or your little bit of something going down. Also to tell you guys, these make amazing pepperoni cheddar rolls. Oh my God, they're so good. So this is basically like, as King Arthur would call it, their pizza blend thing. So then we're gonna do, I'm on Facebook Live. Hold on. So I'm gonna take one bag of regular 6 cheese blend, okay? This is a regular cheese blend that you can buy at the grocery store. If you're dairy free, you can still make these, but you're gonna make them with a dairy free substitute, okay? I'm gonna use a whole bag, okay? One whole bag, okay? Then, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you something kind of cool. Alright, this is me, this is how I am. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, and I hope you guys can see this now, is I'm basically, alright, so I have my rolling mat, I have my cheese down, okay? Then what I'm gonna do, which is kind of cool, is I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna roll it, okay? With regular gluten-free dough, it would tear, it will rip up, but with this, with the extra expanding tapioca starch, or starch in your dough, it's gonna help it roll, okay? You don't need the extra really bench flour, as we call it in the world. And you're just gonna press it, then you're gonna do it again, press it. Oh, that's beautiful. Alright, so then those, okay? Then this. Alright, so. Then look at this. So this, I'm going to show you guys this because a lot of people don't believe me when I tell them that I can literally pick these up after. Okay, hold on, I'm going to move you guys. Look at that. Look at that, okay? That's like cinnamon roll dough that you can pick up. You can also cut them and get beautiful cuts, okay? So hold on one second. I'm actually going to remove you down here so you can see this. Haha. Much better. Alright, so look at that. Okay, I'm going to show you as I cut these. I take a chef's knife, okay? A regular chef's knife. And I'm going to do, they say you make 4 of these. I'm going to really think you're going to make more than that. So, I'm going to show you guys something. This is probably going to make a liar out of me. Look at that. The cheese all nice and wrapped up. And then what I do is I take this. Alright. Hi Connie, how are you? I can see comments. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, okay? Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut 1, 2, 3. This is going to make more than 4, so maybe in gluten-free world you make more, but let's see. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys something. Look at this. Look at that. I can pick this up. I'm actually going to do this because I really don't care if my phone's dirty. Hold on. Hi guys. I'm flippering. Okay. Look at this. Okay. Look at that roll of cheese. Look at that. Okay. I am going to now. So those are all cut. I'm going to kind of move you guys around and do this at the same time so people can see. Look at this, okay? So now you can pick this up. A lot of people ask me, this is free form. Now this is not a mold. You don't need a mold to do this. Sometimes it gets sticky, and you know what? That's okay. And you're going to pick that up. So with some gluten-free doughs, you wouldn't be able to do this, okay? You wouldn't be able to pick it up. It would crack down the middle. It would not manipulate the right way, okay? And then that one. And this one. Okay, so look at what happened. That kind of got a little funky. I'm going to show you something, okay? Hold on. I have dough all over my finger, so hold on. I'm going to put you guys this way. I want to show you guys something, but I have to clean my hand first, so I'm sorry I have to look at my ceiling. Okay. Alright, so what happens is, well, alright, so hold on. I'm going to show you guys something. I just wanted to pick those up. So now, well, hope you can. Look at that. Look at these. Now, I don't mind them that they're going to grow together and kind of touch because they'll kind of look kind of beautiful when they're done. But these are, so sometimes the dough falls apart because that's gluten-free. But it will grow together and make an amazing. But now what I'm going to show you. So I take a damp, when I'm rising something, I take a damp tea towel, okay, with hot water, and I put it over near my oven where I'm baking things, and I let it rise over there for about 45 minutes to about an hour, okay? So I'm going to jump off quickly because I got to clean up my hands and things like that. I'm going to let these rise. And then once they're ready to go in the oven and bake them, I will show you guys later. Alright, I will talk to you guys soon. I love you all. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. Talk to you soon. Love you. Bye.